Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Eden's Fun Crochet. I'm Eden and I'm coming to you from Provo, Utah, where I live. Wow, it's been a hot minute, like 3 weeks. It's really not been that long, but it feels like it's been forever. So my two finished objects, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So my first two finished objects I finished like literally the day after I recorded last time. So they're like, anyway. This hat, okay. I've worn it like 4 times, even though it's kind of hot, but I love it so much. Okay, so this is the November Sky Beanie by Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet. Okay, I used Hobby Lobby yarn. I'll put it in the description box. How about that? I had it, but I cleaned up and I don't know where I put it. But yeah, so I'll put it in the description box. I'll find it before I upload this. And then, yeah, so this is November Sky Beanie. So a little bit story about this hat. Wow, my hair is a poofy mess. So so I bought gray for it because I knew I wanted to make the hat before I bought the yarn. Usually I'm like, oh, I'm going to make something, and I grab yarn from my stash. But this is all worsted, and this is DK, I think. And so I needed DK yarn. So I went and I bought gray, but then I saw this, and I think my favorite color is rainbow. Like, I know, like, if I had to pick one color, it's red. Like, obviously red. Like, everything I own is red. But I was looking through, like, when it comes to crochet, my favorite color is rainbow. How about that? When it comes to crochet, everything is rainbow. I was scrolling through my Instagram, like my crochet Instagram, which is Eden's Fun Crochet. Go check it out. And everything's just rainbow. I'm like, okay. Which I'm totally chill with because I love rainbows. I even have, like, you know how you can, like, save posts? I have a section that's just rainbow crochet. Anyway, so I saw this yarn, and I was just like, I need to make a hat out of this. Like, this is going to be beautiful November Sky Beanie hat material, okay? So I bought it, like, a day or two later. I was given this shirt. So I already knew I was going to make a hat with this yarn that I just bought. And then I was given this shirt. And can we just stop for a second? And, like, they're the exact same shade of all of the same colors. Like, the only thing that would make it more the same was if there was a little bit of white spread out through it. Like, from there. Okay? Like, I'm just shook. But it took me a minute, because I think I started my first gray one in, like, May. And then I made another one for my brother, which his birthday was July 18th. So I finished it, like, a week before his birthday. And then I think that kind of gave me the motivation to start this, but it kind of took a minute. But anyway, so that's what I'm wearing. And then I made this hat, this pink. My camera does not do it justice. My camera does this justice, but not this. It's like a hot pink, but different than what you see. It's like almost like a magenta pink. And it's sparkly. You could definitely see the sparkle. Look at that. And so me and this friend, we have been friends for 5 years. I want to say 5 or 6 years. And she, like, you can spot her in a crowd. She has red hair, like strawberry blonde. She's always wearing pink. Always. And she loves to crochet. She actually, like, I never stopped crocheting, but there was a time where I wasn't this and she kind of helped the ball to roll and created my obsession. So this is my crochet friend, and she loves pink, okay? Pink, everything. And so a few years ago, I was gonna make her this thing, and then I never did. And I bought the pink yarn for it, and I had like 2 skeins. So I gave her one of the skeins for a gift, I think. And I was like, here, have some pink sparkling yarn. And then fast forward 3 years, we kind of stopped talking just because she's older than me. So she went off to college, and then I went off to college, and then she went on a mission, and then I went on a mission, and but we're friends again, and I'm actually going to go see her today. We're going to hang out, and I made her a hat. I was like, I know you already have this yarn, but you can never have too much of crochetness in your life. So, made that for her. And I feel like she's always making me things. And before, like, I feel like in the last year or so, I've gotten really good at being less selfish with my crochet, like giving it to people. There was like a time where I made like one thing for myself in a span of 8 months, and I was like, when did this change happen? Anyway, but before, when we were friends, I never made anyone anything, and she made me stuff all the time. So this is my my payback. I don't know. This is my gift to her. Anyway, so those are my 2 finished objects. Okay, that one was pretty much finished last time, but I just had to put the pom-pom on. This one was literally just like a band, like half a band. Okay, and this one, so many tangledness. I don't know how far I was last time. I know I'm a lot farther because I've worked on it a lot, but I don't remember how far I was. Sorry, the yarn is... I'm rotating skeins, and so I've got 2 ends, which just complicates everything. So can we just take a second and appreciate this? Like, it is super long. Okay, so it's a sweater. It is... I'm using the Magic Stripe pattern, Magic Stripe sweater pattern, but I'm not striping. I'm just using it for like the measurements and stuff because I didn't want to screw everything up. And so yeah. So but it uses a DK, and this is like, it uses like lightweight. I can't remember. I'll put the pattern in the description box. It's free, so go at it. But so this is cotton yarn, and so the gauge is different, and so I did the math and whatever, and I figured out that if I crochet a size small, it will come out a size medium, and it will shrink when I wash it. Like, it will just kind of dense a little bit. Like, I made a swatch. Somewhere. I thought it was in here. Oh, it is in here. So this is my little swatch. I know the color's a little bit different because I dyed it, and so I was like testing stuff out. But it shrunk like 1/4 of an inch. No, 1/2 an inch this way and like 1/4 of an inch this way. Something like that. Anyway, it just kind of is a lot more dense now. It's like less holy than it was before. And it's got a little bit of a halo, but not much. But I mean, it's already getting a halo on it. Anyway, where was I going with that? Yes, it is going to shrink. So it looks like super long. Like, so this pin is halfway of like the finish. So it's 104. I don't know where I got the number. It's 84 stitches. Let me look at the pattern. 84 stitches, rows, 84 rows, and this is 42. And so I was like, wow, like I'm already done. Like, because this goes past my pants right there at the bottom, holding it up. But I was like, it's gonna shrink, and it's supposed to be big, and like, who cares if it's too big? Like, I'd rather it be too big than too small, because like, honestly, most of the sweaters I wear like extra, like 1 to 3 XL, and I'm a small/medium, so I like big sweaters and stuff. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem, especially since it's gonna shrink, but it's only gonna shrink a little bit, so I don't know. But this is what I have so far, because I'm like 27 rows. I think I'm on row 27 after, like, on the second half. I don't know what actual row that is. But it's like a little more than 3/4. So I'm like almost done. So like this is folded in half, so I just have that much left of the front panel, and then I have to do the back panel and the sleeves. And so I did the yarn, so I dyed all the yarn for it, and then I decided that some of the skeins were too muted, and they weren't wow, okay, excuse me, what I wanted. So I asked my mom, I was like, should I re-dye it? Should I just deal with it? And she was like, do whatever you want, honey. That is such a mom answer. Kind of just such a mom answer. And so I went to my dad and I was like, what should I do? Should I re-dye it? Should I just leave it and deal with it? And because like it might look good, it might not. And I told him like, because I was kind of going for like a Ravenclaw theme, like kind of like a vibe. Like I was not a Ravenclaw sweater, but I was kind of going for that vibe, which is like a dark blue and a gray, like navy blue and gray. And I was just like, but this muted doesn't really go with like what I was wanting. And well, I move my hands a lot. And he was like, well, you can either put in the effort and re-dye it and get what you want, but if you don't care if it's exactly what you wanted, then don't put in the effort. And I was just like, whoa. Like, I want it to be like what I wanted, and I'm willing on putting in the effort, so I'm going to re-dye it. Problem solved. I was like, thanks, Dad. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to tuck in my hair. So, yeah. I'm going to re-dye it once I get yarn. I mean, not yarn, dye, because it's, like, impossible. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So, I'm almost done with the front panel. I approximated, like, it's going to take me 3.5 hours, but that was a couple days ago, so it's probably down to 2 hours of just crocheting, like, not, like, yeah. So, because I, like, timed myself, and then I was like, okay, if it takes me 7 minutes to do one row, then it'll take me 10 hours to do the whole thing. Anyway, I did the math, and I think I had, like, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours left to just finish this panel, and then 10 more hours for the back panel, plus probably 10 hours for the sleeves, and then putting it all together. But I will probably finish this panel by next time, hopefully. If I don't, I probably won't record, because there's no point on recording if I'm not crocheting, like, because that's literally the only thing I've done is, like, this has been my, like, solo project. Because I finished this within, like, a day. Like, I started it, and the next day I finished it. And so, it's been 3 weeks, but this hat was done in a day. So, this has been my only project. Yeah, so, that is, I have the yarn, where, I'm so disorganized. The yarn for that sweater for that sweater is also from Hobby Lobby. It's I Love This Cotton. That's what it is. I already told you that. It's I Love This Cotton. Pewter. I don't know why I forgot that. I dyed it. So it's cotton yarn, and I tie-dyed it, and it is it's technically a 4, but it's kind of like, I feel like it's between a 3 and a 4. Like, I don't feel like it's thick enough to be considered worsted. Like, it's just, I don't know. It feels thinner to me than that. That is not focusing. But anyway, so that is the yarn that I'm using. And it is the pattern Crochet Magic Stripe Sweater. I will put the link in the description box. It is a free pattern. And it goes from sizes like extra small to like 3XL, I think. So, but it's also supposed to be, like, it is a bigger sweater. Like, it is made to look kind of bigger on you. So if you make it to your measurements, it is still going to be a little bit big. Because that is just the way it is made. And it, like, comes, like, cinched at the, like, it, like, poofs out and then comes in at the wrist. So it's kind of like a bishop sleeve almost. And I was like, my measurements are like kind of in between a small and a medium. And, like, I'm, like, that's just my life. Like, I'm not a small and I'm not a medium. Like, I'm right in the middle. Like, for a while when I was a teenager, I could shop in both the kids and the adult section, like, until I was like 17. Like, anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so I decided to go up to a medium, so I was like, I might as well just do medium. But then, because of the yarn I'm using, I'm crocheting a small, but it's gonna come out a medium. But at this rate, I think it's coming out more like a medium and a half. So it's gonna be a little big. And what I don't want it to come out and then cinch too much. I don't want it, so if it is a little too big, I think I'd rather just have bigger, like, cuffs than like, molded to my wrist, if that makes sense. Because I'm very good at manipulating patterns. But I don't want to mess it up. Like, most of the time, I do not follow patterns. Like, I bought this to support Hannah, mostly. Like, I am more of a, oh, like, that looks cute, I'm gonna crochet it myself kind of thing. Like, most of the stuff I make, I don't follow a pattern for. And so I was like, but this is my first sweater. So I made a sweater once, but it was like acrylic yarn and it's just scratchy and it was fitting, and I don't wear fitting stuff, and it didn't fit in the right way, and it was in like blue and green, which I don't really wear. And so I made this sweater and I kept it for like a year and I never wore it, and it was just not it wasn't like, oh wow, this is such a beautiful sweater, and I just never wore it. And so I scratched it. Like, I literally frogged the whole thing, tore it out. And I still have the yarn for it, actually, but that's not important. The important part is I don't count that as my first sweater. So I'm doing it right this time, and I wanted it very specifically to be navy blue and gray, and I could not find good yarn that I liked that I could afford. And so I was like, screw this, I'm gonna make my own. And so I dyed my own yarn, and so it was literally like my sweater, except I did not do the pattern. But one day I will get there. Dude, it would be cool if I learned how to spin, and then I spun my yarn and dyed my yarn and made the pattern for it and then crocheted myself a sweater. That would be legit. Like, I made this from the sheep. Like, I am on fire. That'd be cool. That should be a goal. I'm gonna put that on my bucket list. somewhere. I don't even know where my bucket list went. I have like a notebook of all the things I want to accomplish in life. I know it's weird, but anyway. It's been 20 minutes. I'm running out of things to talk about, so I'm just gonna go before... Anyway. So, yeah. If you like my content of me rambling, like the button and subscribe so that I feel accomplished and motivates me to make more stuff. But if you don't do that, then I don't feel motivated, and so nothing happens. Also, if you want tutorials, comment it so that it will motivate me to do it, because I'll be like, oh, people actually want this stuff, instead of me being like, I'm gonna do it and then never do it, and it's like, it's okay because no one even cares. So if you want it, tell me so it will motivate me, if anyone even watches this. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop rambling. Peace. Love ya. Bye.